Alright, today's day 32. Man, I did not want to get out of bed. This is just a rough start for me today. I'm really ready to take a down day. But I only have today, tomorrow, and I'm through to Pennsylvania, so I've got to push on. 16.6 mile day. I'm going to ride the ridge for a while. A steep down into Wind Gap, and then a steep out. I've got some folks camping off to the side, so I'm going to cut it off for now. Alright, so kicking off the morning with the little sharp pointy rocks all on the trail. It is a bit muddy. Calling for off and on rain showers again today. I'm praying they're more off than on. I'll get to the town of Wind Gap. That'll be about a little less than the halfway point for me for the day. Like I say already, you know, the wake-up call to your feet. These rocks. I don't know, maybe if I do something like this at ground level, you can see what I'm talking about. Where there's not a lot of space in between them to put your feet. So you're trying to figure out where to put your feet. And while you're trying to do that, sometimes you just end up kicking your toe on one of them or tripping on one of the rocks sticking up. But yeah, so you just take it a little slower than normal. I do have some areas on my feet that little blisters kind of are starting. I don't know, one area seemed to be almost calloused already, but I've never seen a blister there. But they're definitely tender. There's the base of the big toe of my left foot is definitely tender, so I must hit that spot a lot more. And sometimes when hiking along like this, starting out in the morning, it's quite painful. And I think what happens after a bit is that pain, after about 30 minutes or so, that pain just becomes the norm. And it doesn't, I don't know how to say it, feel as painful anymore. I don't know. Maybe it just hurts so bad it goes in the shock. You got me. But I'm going to go ahead and put the phone away. This is probably one of the worst sections I've been in with these little rocks on the trail. And I'd like to use my poles for some balance, so I'm going to put the phone away for now. It's pretty neat. There has to be a small town out there in the distance. I can hear the church bells playing. It's about 10 minutes to 9. It is Sunday morning. I think it's the 28th of June, not positive. But I can hear the church bells chiming. That's pretty neat. Reminds me of my hometown when I was younger. The church bells ringing out on Sunday morning. Crossing over a transmission line area here. A little bit of a view. You can see there's still quite a few clouds down here. We're in the clouds, but a little bit of a view. It's been almost 2 hours and this continues to be the trail. Still socked in by clouds. I did see 3 deer. They went across the trail, but deeper into the woods there. So I couldn't get a good picture of them between the trees and then how deep they were, the clouds. So, oh, here's a nice little break. Whoa, as I trip on a rock. Figure that one out. Oh, there's a nice little break here. Oh, yeah, so for 2 hours, trail has been rocky stuff. I can tell, obviously I'm not picking my feet up high enough right this minute. Thinking I had a break in the trail there. I need to continue picking them up so I don't trip again. It's starting to get warm. You can see the lightness, like the sun coming through now and then. But it's definitely starting to get warm. And obviously very humid. But so far, there just haven't been any views. When there are, we'll definitely pick the phone back up. I've come to an open area. You can see it's socked in by clouds over there. And there's a little bit of a view over this way. It must be near a roadway or something. I mean, I can hear like motorcycles and cars. So I have to be near a roadway of some sort. Ooh, it's hot out here in the sun. This was a nice break from all the rocks. Getting ready to go back in the woods here. Out of that sun is nice. That just means back into the rocks again. I have a little bit of a view here through the tree. I don't know if that is the town of Wind Gap down there or not, but that's my view right this minute. Another opening here with some views to the north. With all the road traffic noise, I must be within a half mile or 3/4 of a mile of Wind Gap by the sounds of it. But continue on the rocky path. I have to put this down to the phone down to get back down here, but the rocks are just a little bit slippery in places. Maybe I can try. Let's see what happens. I drag one pole behind me because I didn't take it off my wrist. Get off of this part here, and the path looks like it becomes a little better here. So off the bigger boulders, now just down onto the smaller ones. At least it looks like I have a little more room to put my feet on these. So that's nice. I did get down into Wind Gap and definitely going to take a bit of a break. It's very warm. Very, very warm. I think my feet are going to hate me for the next 10 years after all of this. On the sign here it's showing Wolf Rock 6.8 miles. Kirkridge Shelter 9.0. I'm kind of in between the two of those. More towards Kirkridge Shelter. Katahdin, Maine 910.1 miles. I'm sure glad I don't have to go up to Katahdin. But I'm just coming up out of Wind Gap. And I am winded. Coming up so far. I still have a lot of climbing to do, but whew, that's it. Look before you leave. See any of those things, let them know. Those lantern flies. Spotted lantern? Yeah, spotted lantern fly. But, oh, I know. If the trail's like this, even for 20 feet, I'll be happy. Well, yep, so I'm going to put this down because I'm really tired. The trail is not near the town itself as far as there being a gas station, a shop, anything open to get water at. I looked around the housing area across the street, but I didn't see anybody out and about. If I had, I would have asked if they would just refill my bottles for me. I have about 1.5 liters left. That should be enough as long as I'm not in the wide open sun once I get up on the ridgeline. The ridgeline I just came off of to the south of Wind Gap, you are in the trees the majority of the time. So I'm hoping this ridge will be the same. Whew. Well, it sure didn't take long to get back to the normal trail. I really would have liked that other to stay for a long time, but oh well. This is what we get. This is what you work with. I'm hoping I can pick up the deer before it runs away. There we go. I don't know what it's going to do when I start moving. Of course, I'm trying to do this and watch where I'm putting my feet so I don't trip. Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to work. We'll see if it runs out on the trail or goes into the woods. Pick up my poles here a little bit. Well, hello, precious. How are you? There's the little fawn running after mama. Oh, there's another one. Coming into the picture there. Alrighty. Still zero views and still all these rocks. It just goes on and on. I am on the Wolf Rocks bypass. It's about a mile walk around. There's supposed to be a spring down here, but as you can see in that hole, it is dried up. So there's not any water there. But it's the same rocky path. Another little view here because of these transmission lines. And then over here back into the woods I shall go. Oh my glory, what a welcome change. If my last 1.3 miles is this, it would be awesome. Well, this is nice. Oh my glory. Woohoo, this is nice. Although the bottom of my feet feel like they are on fire, this feels good on my feet. Oh, yeah. Well, I really didn't see a lot of people on trail. And I do have to say, the only people I saw were local folks hiking. Now that I think about it. One man was out here. He is the scout leader out here with one of his Boy Scouts. And the Boy Scout was earning his cooking badge. So they were hiking 5 miles north from Wind Gap, and then the young boy was going to have to do whatever he has to do to earn his cooking badge, and then they were going to hike the 5 miles back to the car at Wind Gap. And they too were amazed at all the rocks, how rocky it was. I'll tell you what. This right here is a real blessing. Whew. I'm coming up to the end of my 16.6 mile day. Ooh-wee. My quads are pretty sore again today, but it's been a nice day. I mean, my feet are definitely killing me. They're burning on the bottom. They're just on fire. But it's all I can expect with the rocks we've been hiking over. Minion and I, have been hiking over. So tomorrow will be a 7-mile day, and that'll close out Pennsylvania. I wish I had it in me, thinking I could do more than 2 miles an hour and finish that up in the next 3 hours. But I just don't have it in me today. I just need to stop and get off these feet for a bit. So I hope you all had a good day. And I look forward to finishing up Pennsylvania tomorrow.